Alright everybody, what is going on? We're hopping into the 200% level 10 links video here for EZA Super Vegeta. Guys, here he is. Oh my goodness. This is probably one of my favorite characters they've ever released in the game. I rainbowed this guy immediately. I have always wanted like a Final Flash Vegeta in this game so bad. And whenever they announced this guy and he was like the best unit in the game at the time, I was pumped, man. We're running him on here on, of course, Vegeta's team. You guys know I love this Vegeta as well. I'm a big Vegeta fan, if you didn't know. We got a pretty good opening rotation for him here. Not perfect. Now I'm being a little bit risky here bringing Kaba. Because Kaba, you know, good old Cabbage Man here. Cabbage Man does not have his EZA on global, and he is 55% for me. So he's here. He's juicing, but I don't know how much he's actually juicing here. Now, Vegeta does get an extra 50% buff here against a Cell, so we're going to start out against Cell here, and then we are going to go into a fight against a non-Cell enemy for the 200% showcase, so we can get a little bit of a range on him. The buff that he gets is right down here. He gets guaranteed guard, an additional 50% attack and defense, and what is it? Launches an additional super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack if he's fighting a Cell. So he can potentially triple super. He's guaranteed guarding, and he's still doing guaranteed crits, the stun, all that good stuff. So I guess this Cell can be stunned. So let's go ahead and float this Vegeta off, because he'll be able to get his 2-turn support at some point in this fight, and that'll be able to affect us on this rotation. So let's keep Kaba here. That's going to get us with Super Saiyan, Saiyan Pride, and Prepared for Battle activated. So we could do a little bit better if we linked him with this Vegeta in the middle. Like that, we could get all 7. But let's just do this. It's not going to be a huge deal. And he's at 264k defense right here. And he's going to be good after he supers. So let's go ahead and grab these. Again, Vegeta's got the guaranteed stun. Cell is susceptible to stunning, so we'll be able to protect the entire rotation right here. So here we go. We got our hit, and he starts out at a 16 million attack stat. He does build up in his passive. He needs to do 2 super attacks, and then he's fully built up. So there's 1. And here's 2, it's guaranteed because we got hit. And now he is fully built up from his passive. He's doing a 19 million attack stat guaranteed crit. My Vegeta does have full additional with some attack equips. Yeah, get used to seeing that KO screen again. So we'll show his build whenever we cut and come back, and we will see this next rotation. So pretty good start for the showcase. Alright, we're back here, and again, we're just going to keep the same rotation right here. We do have access to Vegeta's active skill. His active skill can be activated after receiving an attack if you're facing a Cell. So if you're fighting Cell, he gets hit once the next turn, then you can use it. If you're not fighting Cell, I believe it's turn 5 over 50% HP. But we'll save that for later. Notice how Vegeta is now up to 529k defense at the start of turn. That's because part of his multiplicative buff from his passive is built up now. Specifically the part where he gets 50%. Let me just show you guys. It's probably easier for me to show you since this guy has a lot of multiplicative stuff in his passive that all gets lumped together. Right here. So this line in his passive right here is built up. So the way this will work is whenever we get a super attack. So right now, essentially, we have an extra 100% at the start of turn, right? Well, it's this. It's multiplicative into what he had last turn. Whenever we get hit, this will become activated. And you can think of this as being 150%. And then once we actually do a super, it'll go up to 250%. So in order to actually calculate his defense right here, what you would have to do is take the, what is this, 529, 620, oops, 1 extra 0 there, and you would have to divide it by 2. The reason we would do that is it gets rid of this 100% right here. It takes that away. So now we're back down to 264, 810, about what we were last turn, if not exactly what we were last turn, actually, I believe. And then in order to calculate what his defense would be after receiving an attack and after doing his super attacks, we would have to multiply by 3.5, I believe, because it would be 100 right here, plus 100 right here, plus 50 right here, which is 250%, which would be 250 would be 3.5. So multiply by 3.5, and then he does get 30% defense every single time that he super attacks. So then we're going to guarantee double super right here, assuming we don't kill Cell. So we're going to multiply that by 1.6. And so he's going to be at about 1.5 million defense here after he double supers. So potentially we could we could, in theory, get up to, we could do a triple super attack. So we would multiply by 1.9. And so he could get up to 1.7 million defense on this turn if he were to triple super attack. So that is pretty good. Let's go ahead and grab these key spheres right here. We'll grab this for Kaba. And then God Goku, it doesn't matter. I don't even think we're going to get to double super right here. I think Vegeta's just going to do one super and KO this guy because, I mean, he doesn't have much health left here. So we'll see. 23 million attack stat is what we were at right here. Again, basically the same rotation as last turn, but this time we're fully built up. So we can see Vegeta's full power right there. And yeah, there we go. 16 million. So there we go. There's the KO screen again. We're going to cut. We're kind of at an awkward off rotation right here. So I may try to do my best to KO Cell on this next turn so that we can have a full HP bar for this Vegeta, because right now we're in that awkward zone on rotation 2, so we'll see. All right, here we go. So I believe that we do have Tech Vegeta support up. The Vegeta that I'm talking about, by the way, is, if you didn't notice, this guy is on the team right here. I believe we got hit 3 times last turn, so we should have, yep, we have his 2-turn support up right here. So we have the extra 30% from him. We have King Vegeta giving us his support, and we also have Kaba giving his support. So notice how we're at 700k defense right here, which is obviously very good. We'll probably link him with King Vegeta because that will give him more links activated, and it gives us Saiyan Pride, which is 20% attack. But let's go ahead and use Vegeta's active skill right here. Okay, very nice, very nice. So, of course, we got to put this guy in slot 1 so that he can get his buff from getting hit right here. Again, we're going to link him with King Vegeta so that we have the most links possible active right here. 50% support from this guy, 60% from this guy, 35% from this guy, multiplicative. Right? Yeah, so that's getting added into like that. So if we're looking at it right here, it gets added in with these, well, right here. There we go. It gets added in with this. So, yeah, that's where that buff gets added into. So anyway, but, I mean, 700k defense right here with guard. And we're probably going to do, like, what, like a 50 million attack stat right here? 60 million attack stat? Like, what are we about to do right here? Like, bare minimum, we're doing a 30 million attack stat on this turn. Like that's bare minimum, we're doing 30 mil or something right here. Like we're probably going to approach 50. I mean, we'll see. 22k from the super, not too bad. And yeah, 46 million. 46 million is what we get up to here with Vegeta, so obviously that's pretty good. Everyone say goodbye to Cell. Well, remember, we had a guaranteed additional coming in after that. By the way, there was a guaranteed additional coming in after that, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all we needed to see from Vegeta against a Cell enemy. So let's go ahead and take him into a different fight and see how he does against a different type of enemy. Oh. There we go. Okay, so we're hopping here against the Metal Cooler Army. That's what we're doing. Okay, of course he had to spread his attacks out evenly. Now, this may seem a little bit odd, but I'm actually going to float off Super Vegeta right here so that we can have him turn 1 against the core. That is my plan right here. I guess we're going to go ahead and get Vegeta's, like, buff active right here. Whenever this guy gets hit 3 times, it gives everybody, you know, a 2-turn multiplicative support buff. So I guess we're going to go ahead and get that active right here. So we'll get this turn, and then we will cut and come back. Hopefully just, listen, we got to get a pretty decent break next turn so that this guy doesn't die. But as long as we can survive that, I think we'll be okay. Sometimes the core is really nice, and they'll leave, like, an open window for you to hide a unit. It's not common. Oh, that was really good. So hopefully we didn't just burn all of our luck right there, but occasionally the core will do something really nice like that, and they'll just they'll leave a nice open spot for you to hide a unit. So we'll see. Hopefully that happens, but this will be what Vegeta's going to look like most of the time. I would say it's very common that this Vegeta is going to be a floater or a slot 2 unit, which I think is going to fit his role nicely. Like, obviously this Vegeta is the leader of the team. Super Vegeta was EZA to help this guy's team out, even though his team on JP doesn't really need much help, but like that's what this guy's role is, and he's going to sit in slot 2 for most of the time, and he'll just be like a solid defensive option in slot 2 in fights that aren't like very long, you know. So like your movie bosses like the movie Boss Rush and then like the Blue Gogeta fight probably are not going to be ideal for this Vegeta, but a lot of other fights this guy is going to be very suited and he's going to work out very well. Nice, we got a double super. I don't think I've ever shown my build on this guy, so real quick we'll let this turn play out. And then I will open him up and actually show my build. I have a pretty good build on this guy in terms of, like, the equips that I'm using. So, notice how his attack stat just went up to a 21 million attack stat right there, by the way. But that's really good. We'll have him built up fully for the core. I guess we'll do this is what... Well, no, we'll do this. We'll do this right here. But let me show my build. No, not him. There he is. Let's show my build real quick before we cut and come back. So, this is what we're rocking. We got 27 additional. Of course, we have to give him 5 crit. He has that in his hidden potential system. And then 6 dodge. So you can see the equips that I have on this guy are pretty, like, premium. These are premium equips right here. So, yeah, I mean, this Vegeta's crazy, right? I mean, look at this attack stat. But anyway, let's go ahead and cut, and we'll come back. Hopefully, as long as Kaba doesn't die right here, we will be back shortly. All right, here we are back against the core, and this will probably... I mean, I don't want to say this will be the last rotation right here, but let's go ahead and play this. All right, very good, very, very good. I think we share everything here except for royal lineage, yes. So that is a little bit of attack that we're leaving off the table right there, but we do have King Vegeta support. We are fully built up. Now, the only thing, remember, is that Vegeta cannot get his active skill until turn 5 if you're not facing a Cell enemy. So you can see right there, 50% HP or more starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. So obviously, it's not turn 5 yet, so we can't get that. But we are going to be doing quite a bit of damage here to the core. So let's go and grab these right there. Then we can grab the 3 orbs for King Vegeta. I think we will probably just kill the core. I would love to see him Super Vegeta. Okay, nice. We got our hit in first. Yeah, feel free, buddy. Go ahead. Well, this probably will do damage to us, but it won't kill us. This isn't a KO shot right here. 289k, not too bad. And then we shoot out a 25.9 million attack stat. Obviously, that is very good. Guaranteed crit. Bang. And just like that, 3 health bars are gone. We did not get the hidden potential additional attack, but that's okay. You know, maybe Vegeta's being nice to us. He's trying to prolong the battle a little bit right here so that we can get his active skill. We will see. We will see. If this, if we end up not KOing him right here, I will do my best. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're probably... Well, I don't know. We'll see. I will attempt to get us one more turn against the core right here. We can maybe get the active skill and then the KO screen with Vegeta, but obviously we looked pretty good right there, right? Like the amount of damage and everything, so we'll see, we'll see. Ah! All right, well, I guess it's one of those stupid his 5th turn things. Well, no, but we had him on turn... we're under... Hang on. Well, how... We're under the HP threshold, so let's just do this. Listen, okay? How about we just get the animations? He does have an HP condition on his active skill. Sorry about that. Dude, that well, you know, I guess I'm not a musician because that OST sounds... Dude, this thing is a banger. Dude, I used to like this OST. I used to just listen to this on my way to work every day, dude. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like this thing is just this OST is good. I love it. It's so, dude, it's so epic. Just like the voice line. So only a 27 million attack stat right here with his active skill. But remember, 1, we don't have support, and 2, we didn't get hit first. But more than enough for Vegeta to take the core's life right there. So let me know what you guys think about this Super Vegeta. Let me know if you guys have enjoyed using him. Let me know what you think about him on Global. I mean, this guy's going to absolutely obliterate everything on Global right now. Like, there is no event right now that can stand up to this guy on Global. So there's a few on JP that this guy can meet his match in. But I think overall, this guy, for the current content on both versions, is going to be an asset in more events than he's a liability. So let me know what you guys think about this Vegeta. Thank you for watching. For those of you curious about the breakdown, stay tuned. We're about to cut into that. All right, this is Tenacious Secret Plan, Super Vegeta. His leader seal is Mastered Evolution or Pure Saiyans, category key 3, HP attack and defense 170%. I'm probably going to start using this guy as my battlefield leader again. This guy was my battlefield leader for a very, very long time, and I would just run like a Pure Saiyan, like kind of Goku family type setup sort of thing. So this guy is probably just going to be my battlefield leader again, just the full 170 like that. And I mean, this guy's a monster. This guy's going to one-shot battlefield bosses for a very, very long time. His super attack is the Final Flash. He gets defense for 1 turn. That's 30% raise. All attacks become critical hits to the enemy for 1 turn. So very nice that they gave him a defense. I really wish that this was 50% right here. I don't see any reason why it can't be 50. Because, like, it's not like this guy is going to be shooting out additionals all the time. If this guy was double supering consistently every single turn, then I would understand why it was 30. But this guy is not consistently double supering, even with a full additional build. We only got a few additionals in this video, right? So maybe that's just bad RNG. But I really wish that this would have been 50 right here. It doesn't seem like a big difference, but it would be. Like, it raises the ceiling just a little bit more, so... his passive skill, the Fight's Over, or I guess just Fight's Over. He gets 2 key, 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets guard for 5 turns. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super attack. Additional 50% attack and defense with each super attack performed up to 100%. So just as a reminder, these 2 buffs will activate in the same phase. If you guys have been around before, I like to talk about buckets. So just a little demonstration here. I went ahead and made this little graphic real quick. So this is what I'm talking about whenever I'm talking about buckets, right? So these are essentially the different phases. This isn't all of them, but this is probably the most common that you'll see. The most common phases that you'll see that, you know, stats are being added into, I guess you could say. So we have the start of turn bucket. This is going to be Vegeta's, what is it, 200% at the start of turn, I believe is what it was. It's 200%. Let me double check. Yeah, 200% at the start of turn, right? So this is your 200%. The passive multiplicative bucket is anything that people generally refer to as a multiplicative stat. So this is going to be the 50% that he gets whenever he receives an attack. It's going to be the 100% whenever he does a super attack. It's going to be the 100% buildup that he gets. So this is that, you know, 50% up to 100%. And then it's also going to be... No, that's it. That's it right there. For him, that's it, right? So it's that 50% that he gets from receiving an attack, 50% on super, and then 100% right here that builds up. This is the 50% chances that build up to 100%. The only thing is that this buff right here, the reason I put it outside the bucket is because you can actually see that at the start of turn after it's built up. And so that's why some people get confused and they go, oh, Vegeta's at 500k defense at the start of turn, and whenever he gets hit, he gets 50%, and then whenever he does a super, he gets another 100, and they think that his defense just like skyrockets into this crazy number, and it does definitely get higher, but it's kind of misleading because you're just seeing this buff right here at the start of turn, but in reality, it's still included in this stat right here for a total boost whenever they're all active of 250%. So that's kind of a common misconception right there. Think about it as 200% at the start of turn, and then 200% or 250%. That's, you know, like a simple unit would just have 200% at the start of turn, 250% like on super or on dodge or something like that, right? Just think about it as broken out into 3 separate conditions that you have to get in order to get the total boost of 250%. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Then you have the SA effect of 30%. Right, per super. So this could be 30, 60, 90, depending on how many super attacks he does. And then you have the active skill buff. Now, Vegeta doesn't actually get defense on his active skill. So this is just, like, this isn't anything. This is 0% for defense. But I just wanted to add it here because it's another common bucket that you'll see whenever you're calculating units. So in case you were ever confused, this is kind of how Vegeta is working, just to kind of help visualize that for all you visual learners out there in the audience. So I hope this kind of makes a little bit more sense for understanding, you know, which buffs are truly multiplicative and which ones are being added together. So hopefully this makes sense. So essentially the way this works is that if it's in the bucket, they're added together. So, right, this is like the plus, and again, this is in the bucket. It's just outside the bucket because you can see it at the start of turn. But it's still added. So, 50 plus 100 plus 100 is 250. But then outside the bucket, or like the separate buckets themselves, are multiplied against each other. Right, so this is what people are talking about whenever they're talking about multiplicative stats. It's that the start of turn is multiplicative with this passive multiplicative phase. Or I guess they call, like, this is called, I think, like passive phase 2, I think is like the official term, I think. So this is like phase 1, and then this is phase 2, I believe is what these are referred to as. And then you have the SA effect, and then you have the active skill. So each bucket is multiplicative with the other bucket, and then within the bucket, it's additive. So like, I do, there is another stat that Vegeta gets. Remember that Vegeta does get 50% attack and defense when facing a cell enemy. That is additive to the start of turn buff right here. So if you're facing a cell, then you can have a total boost of 250% right here. Right? So that's 250. So like best case scenario, you could have 250 times 250 times 90, right? You would have a 90% buff if you were to triple super in theory. So this is like the max possible defense buff that you could get right here. 250, 250, and 90. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. If it doesn't, be sure to leave me a comment or a question down below. But I just wanted to kind of explain this because I see a lot of misconception running around about this guy. I've seen people say like, oh, he's crazy. He gets up to like 3 million defense after he's super. It's like, no, hang on, back up a little bit. Because I think people get confused specifically about this part right here. They don't understand that these buffs, these three, are added together to each other for a total boost of 250. They think that they're just like separate multiplicative. Like they think that there's like a bunch of extra buckets. There's like this is your on hit, this is your on hit 50%. This is your on super 100%. And then this is your build up 100%. Like they think that these are all multiplicative with each other when in reality they're not. They're actually additive with each other. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. Hopefully my drawing and my visual, helps clear that up for you. 1 second. So anyway, back over to Vegeta's passive. I think we all cleared this up. If you are facing a cell, this guy is significantly better. The only issue is that it excludes, I believe, Cell Junior. I think it excludes GT Cell, and it does exclude Cell Max, I believe, are the characters that it excludes, I think. But he launches a guaranteed additional super attack after receiving an attack. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then he guards all attacks when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell. I really wish that this was just maybe like an extreme class enemy, or maybe they just gave him this. Maybe he just had 250 at the start of turn here, and this was just guaranteed. And then maybe he gets a guaranteed additional after receiving an attack. Like maybe we could have just done that. I think if they did that, this guy would have been like perfect. I don't think he would have been overpowered. I think he would have been like meta relevant. But yeah, this wouldn't be an issue if we had a bunch of fights against Cell. The issue is we don't have any fights against Cell, like at all. We have the one red zone fight from a year ago that's not relevant anymore. So, anyway, he does stun enemies attacked by this character's super attack. So if you get a super attack off, he does get a guaranteed 1-turn stun. This is really good for Super Battle Road, and it's going to be really good for the Cell Max fight whenever it comes out on Global. The Stage 2 fight after turn 5, you can like seal, you can stun, you can debuff. So yeah, like obviously by the time this guy's guard wears off, he just can't be hit anymore by that cell as long as you're playing smartly and keeping him in slot 2. So very good. His active skill, I am Super Vegeta, key +5, 50% attack for 1 turn. Again, this is a separate multiplicative buff from everything going on up here, so this is why it does jump his attack stat up a lot. Can be activated when HP is 50% or more starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. We saw where we actually couldn't get this activated because our HP was too low, so that's why we had to use that Senzu Bean right there. Or after the character receives an attack 1 or more times when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell. So again, decent active skill condition, not the best ever because it does have a turn and an HP condition. But I feel like most of the time it's not going to be an issue getting this guy's active skill out, but we'll see. Link set is pretty good. I mean, it's just a basic Vegeta Link set here. I mean, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Prodigy, Saiyan Pride, Golden Warrior, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle. His only defensive Link is Prepared for Battle, so it's not like a huge imperative that you get this guy Link leveled. Like if you've got this guy at level, 5 to 8, like you're pretty much seeing his full power. So, but he does get a ton of extra stats, you know, getting these things up to Link level 10. Mostly it's just attack though, so it's just going to help your damage. These are his categories, and then these are his 200% leaders. In terms of meta-relevant leaders, it's probably only Vegeta right now on Global, because unfortunately, I mean, everyone else here, I don't want to say they're mid. I mean, this guy's 2 years old now, so it's not entirely his fault, but, you know, obviously being 2 years old doesn't help this guy. And he was designed around, like, the red zone. There's also, like, not very many good Trunkses, so... I mean, this guy sucks. This unit is just old. I am curious how this unit would do in some of the new Red Zone fights. Or like I'm sorry, Supreme Battle Spectacle. But I don't know. I think this unit's time in the sun is just over. And then this unit has just sucked since release. And then they're just iffy. I mean, they're fine on Global right now, but on like JP, they're a little bit iffy. And then this guy, unfortunately, is just very sad. So let me know what you guys think about EZA Super Vegeta. Let me know if you think he's undertuned. I'm definitely on the side of he's just slightly undertuned. I think you just give him guaranteed guard. Even if you wanted to make it conditional, like he guards for 5 turns, but then after he receives like 5 attacks, he guaranteed guards. Like, sure, you know, like something like that. I think that would have been fine. But yeah, I think overall this guy is going to make a big impact on the game. I think he is going to crush everything on Global right now, and I think he is going to be pretty useful in a lot of fights on JP. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.